Are you not aware that Diddy's mother is being linked to this legal drama? Rumors on the streets claim that not only was reported involvement of Mama Combs in her son's freakouts, although she was said to have led, it appears that the weirdo offs herself child. Like though the whole family was madly strangely, the mother's participation in If You Guys Can, this is some next level stuff. Are curious in how this tea came to be spilt? First, excellent word on the streets are where Kim Porter resides. Family to be grateful to for it, as they purportedly provided evidence to the feds about this kid, who appears to be Mama, is going to receive some compliments her son wearing jail jumpsuits because the family of Kim Porter seeks justice for them, and it doesn't matter who wins. Janice Combs also introduced herself to her. To stress out about her son, or is she another one of his victims? Let us dissect it. Now that we know, it has been a hot minute. Given that Kim Porter's kin have consistently disputed the formal decision made by her death, as you are aware, the pneumonia ruling hard to hold them accountable because it doesn't have a great deal of logic. The coroner who conducted the autopsy observed that she contained some poison system, and the following thing we knew was that after being discharged, the coroner was replaced by a different coroner who required 2 weeks to finalize his conclusions, determining that she died of pneumonia, and received this when rumors began to circulate that the first coroner's decision from the second trap, the person who discovered poisons in her system, unexpectedly died from natural causes. Yes, the maths was not calculating from several sources. Stated that federal authorities were looking into the potentiality that Kim's demise might have not been a MRR and not because of pneumonia. A source claims the family had been thinking about making a litigation for wrongful death against Diddy, but finally made the decision not to since they had received a call from the FBI. According to the source, they had all received calls by 3 family members, the FBI, and interviews have been conducted with 6 friends already, and they've been instructed to remain calm in light of Kim's ex Cassie revealed attorneys after launching her own legal action against Diddy, about whom she had details regarding Kim Porter's passing, and she has evidence explaining why Kim was assassinated. Another insider stated that there were several cover-ups in relation to the case and how many certain aspects of the case were nonsensical. According to the insider, when Kim went, there were concerns regarding the way in which she passed away, if they're going to say so. She passed away and had pneumonia. Calmly when sleeping, therefore why was there blood found on Kim's bed linens, and furthermore a faint blood trace on the floor of the bedroom leading to the bathroom? Why wasn't that brought up? Kim was not discovered unconscious in bed. She was found on the floor of the lavatory, and if she was discovered in the bed, then she was placed there with purpose. Kim was not located by the purported. She was lying to her housemates too, under the guidance of a physician expert that was personally chosen by Sean. Sincerely, it's provided the entire Michael Jackson's medical procedures vibes, and Kim's most recent phone contact to him was at 2:43 a.m. to 911, but Kim was found dead later that morning at 11 o'clock a.m. Based on Kimura's report, Simmons, Kim Porter's original father, and her son Quincy Al's father, be implied on Instagram as well that Diddy had some knowledge of Kim Porter's dying. He penned, "I recently came over this video. From the morning I found out about Kim Porter's murder and how the spirit was torn apart from my bodily self, I am very aware of clearly Kimberly did more than simply look unexpectedly due to pneumonia. That's a load of nonsense. We recently commemorated our son's new agreement and holiday special using Netflix, and she was doing great health in addition to laughing at me and Diddy and Neutral's conversation in the theater. I'm going to stop there, so please don't." Al said, "The love songs fool you. Kim was alive and had posted an old photo of them, and they're writing her message to me said, life imitating art. Since art now mimics life, it all makes sense." She also shared other things with me. "Was sprinting. Call the FBI, I urged. The intriguing thing is that Al entered a coma soon after discussing this, and upon waking, he was on the verge of death. Never brought up the subject again." In passing, doubtful, "Don't you believe that given Diddy's present situation involving the streets, feds are now claiming that it's said that Kim's family is attempting to the federal government should resume the inquiry into her demise, asserting that they purportedly possess proof. Not only does it include Kim's death, but it also purports to provide more understanding about Diddy's oddities, such as how his mother claimed to have participated in his freak-offs. Girl, how do I grasp things at this point? Circumstance, we must travel back in time. Melvin Diddy's father, during his early years, Combs was a party to some extremely unsavory activities and a connection to Frank Lucas. Indeed, Frank Lucas, the individual who influenced the film American Gangster. Ultimately, Melvin found himself in what is said to have been a poorly executed agreement when Diddy was just 3 years old, following Diddy's mother, Janice, passed away, that she retained her 3-year-old away from life's hard side. When he was 12, Mom relocated him and his sister from Mount Vernon, New York, to Harlem. She took on many occupations to ensure Diddy has access to a private education. Talking about it, he stated that until I was 12, my family and I relocated from Harlem to Mom's way was in Mount Vernon, New York, in order to remove us from the inner city. Following the death of my father, I went to my grandmother's house in Harlem. I keep thinking about basic stuff concerning the grass, trees, and being ability to engage in baseball there in Harlem was not a front yard or small league with, but the surrounding area was grassy. Multicultural, which increased my horizon. During an Oprah interview in 2006, Diddy revealed how he learned it. The actual cause of his father's passing, despite his mother's greatest attempts to maintain keeping it secret, Diddy dug a little and find the truth for himself. He stated, "She made an effort to shield me. My dad was a hustler who, in his day, sold narcotics. That was also the route out of Harlem. Between that or having a basketball game, my mom was against my going after in his footsteps. Hence, she was cautious when which reality my father was in. She informed me he was in the army and had a limousine assistance, and he perished in a vehicle crash. He was actually in an automobile. But even as a child, I noticed when I put 2 and 2 together, the dudes from the Harlem streets appear to be aware of my family's last name. I used to accompany your father on runs. Tell me my uncles were all street people. Additionally, hustlers. As you may imagine, the hard fate of his father and his mother compromises, working 2 jobs and almost accumulating debt to send him to an exquisite Catholic school that Diddy might attend. Keep to the road and use caution when steering. Avert any chaotic drug life as soon as possible." That turns out not to be entirely the case. Even in his exclusive Catholic school, Diddy discovered that he was rubbing shoulders with the incorrect group of people. Reports said he became close friends with Andrew Campos, a notorious member of the Los Sonoras Gambino crime family, even engaged in football games at S. Michaels, and maintained the closeness. After Diddy, the graduating child, has been resolved to remain evil for a very long time by the sounds of it. His mother most likely played a part in it as well. As can be seen, Janice advertised herself as a model and a teacher's aide in the past, although people on the streets are now calling that BS. When every skeleton tumbled out of, there's rumors in Diddy's closet that his mother, it's possible that Janice taught him some murky enterprise. Despite her assertions to be a model, her modeling is completely absent. Instead, Gigs' whisper implies that she was further into planning fashion events. If you understand what I'm saying, rapper Mace suggested that Diddy's mother was aware of more, she revealed, and that she was purportedly facilitating his actions. Glancing back, many things are now beginning to make sense, such as this strange video that Diddy uploaded of him and his mother. It was strange of him to flaunt her body in such a way. Did you also notice the part where he mentioned his mother was receiving an IV drip alongside him? I know you've noticed Cassie's white nails, and in her complaint, she alleged that Diddy had forced her to wear them. According to the federal indictment records that the government published, Diddy and the freak-off victims generally receive IVs to heal from their injuries. Fans are connecting the dots, and it appears like Mama may have been acting strangely towards her kid, which is crazy to consider, but considering the rumors about her, polished before freakoffs, and the statement about how his mom can touch the floor with her palms. Fans remarked, "OMG, that ain't his mom. That's his madam. His mother has always been. And should we really be surprised, child?" This is some wild stuff, and the things that she has allegedly been enabling her son to do seem dubious to me. She gives me pretty horrible vibrations, and she understood that as long as the lifestyle persisted, she didn't care. I'm curious about your opinions on this, so leave a comment below and watch the next video.